Hi friend, welcome back to my channel. I tried so hard, but I have another mountain of empties to share with you. I have Logan currently playing on his little mat. So if you hear what sounds like Santa Claus in the background, it is just him ringing a little bell that he can kick with his feet. So hopefully you enjoy that and you'll hear a little baby coo or raspberry every now and then because he's a chatty fellow. But let's go ahead and dive in because there's a lot to discuss. We are at the end of the summer. I'm about to actually return to school, which is pretty incredible. So we have a ton of SPF products to discuss. So I have two from Sunbum. Sunbum is basically kind of the go-to sunscreen brand for me these days from the drugstore. So I have the SPF 70 because we need all the protection we can get, and the SPF 50. I don't know if these are intentionally like this, but maybe they are packaged this way. These are different textures. This feels like more traditional sunscreen texture wise. This has more of an oil serum-y feel to it. They both smell lovely, which matters to me. I want sunscreen to feel as pleasurable as possible because sunscreen is a nuisance. I hated doing it as a kid, and this is a good product for me. I would typically start my day with 70, and then if I reapplied, I would use the 50. Both of these are good, would get them again. Then I have this one. I was going through a Supergoop phase last summer, and so I had this from last summer and we finished it off this summer. It's the Supergoop Play. This is basically their kids sunscreen. I've sort of gotten away from the idea of using children's versus adult sunscreens. I was being a bit more conscientious because Lydia has eczema, but sunscreen doesn't really seem to impact her eczema. So I don't necessarily know if I would buy this again. It is a mineral sunscreen. It's SPF 30. It is very difficult to blend in and rub in, which again, also don't love because she doesn't love putting sunscreen on, so I want to make it again as less cumbersome and uncomfortable as possible so that she will fight less to put sunscreen on. So I probably wouldn't get this again, but I'm happy that I used it. I've also got a face sunscreen. This is from Kopari. I got this in a Trend Mood box that I purchased last year, I believe. This is their Sun Shield Soft Glow Daily Face SPF. I pulled this out in the spring. I will admit, in the fall and winter, I really am not applying sunscreen as a part of my skincare routine because we rarely see the sun in this part of the country, the Northeast. So I'm not really jonesing or feeling the need to put it on. But as we got into the spring, right around the time that Logan was born, I felt like maybe I should just use it more since I wasn't going to apply makeup as much, which means I wasn't at least going to get some SPF in a lot of the foundations that I wear, yada, yada, yada. This is okay. The packaging, I like the idea of, but it was not flawless. There were air bubbles in here that would cause issues with it getting enough suction to move up and thus move product out. You can see here, I just quit altogether because right as I got to about the A in Kopari, this stopped effectively pushing product out. And then I noticed the texture was changing. It hasn't expired. It was going to expire January 1st of 2025. So it still had plenty of life left in it before its expiration, but it just changed. It became very finicky. I will say, texturally, I was always weary of it, but it did absorb well into my face, but it had sort of this weird, it wouldn't really rub together in my fingers before spraying it on my face. It seemed to be fine on my face, but it was just a strange, I don't know why it wasn't okay here, but it was okay doing this. Don't know. But it did have glitter in it, which as I got closer to the end of the product, the glitter was a bit more noticeable. It was less of a glow and more of ooh, girl has sparkles on her face, which I'm not a big fan of. If I was putting makeup over it and you couldn't see it, it didn't matter, but I wasn't. I really haven't worn a ton of makeup my entire maternity leave. So this, I wouldn't buy again. I'm happy that I used it. It wasn't so bad that I couldn't use it, but there are some quirks about it that I just don't think I'd go back for more. And then lastly is a post-sun staple in my household. It's the Kula Radical Recovery After Sun Lotion. This stuff is from the sun gods. I swear by this stuff. It is so much better than just using straight aloe. Sincerely, I feel like this genuinely basically cools down, like it says, cools down your skin and really helps your skin recover from any kind of burn. Naturally, my arms tend to get red. Even when I put sufficient sunscreen on and reapply it and all of that, my arms just tend to, I don't know, get like a little naturally red. This always made them feel great and then not be red the next morning. So this is great. It is expensive, but I love it. I swear by it. I don't need a lot of it when I do apply it, so it does last a long time. Very, very happy with this. Next thing I have is skincare items. I don't have a lot of skincare, but I'm on the tail end of a few things that will mean I'm gonna have a whole new wave of stuff to talk about soon. But I have, first off, this Peach Slices Snail Rescue Blemish Busting Toner. This was a whole line, like a sample line that I bought because I like parts of the products in here. I have to say, I don't think the toner is anything noteworthy. It didn't have a ton of impact on my skin. Like, since not using it, I haven't noticed my skin regressing or changing in a way that makes me think the toner needs to come back into my life. So I'm not gonna go out and get it. Also from Peach Slices, I have the Acne Clarifying Cleanser. This is salicylic acid acne treatment. This was a line, like a brand I came to when I was pregnant because I couldn't get a lot of products I was normally going for, but Peach Slices had a lot of stuff you could use. This, I have to say, is not durable or strong enough for my skin preferences. I feel like this is a good beginner skincare product if you don't really have a lot of acne problems and you're not looking for something more intense. This to me was more of like what I would give Lydia if she was dealing with like teenage or adolescent, pre-adolescent acne. She might be able to use something like this, but it wasn't enough for me. I just didn't love it enough, wouldn't go back. I then moved into Holy Grail. This is the Youth of the People Kale and Green Tea Spinach Vitamins Superfood Cleanser. This is what I basically cashed in for my Sephora birthday gift. I picked the Youth of the People one and I pulled out the 1 ounce. This is awesome. I have 2 larger versions of this as well that I will continue to use. This stuff is just the best. My skin does respond well to it. I also have a great moisturizer that I've come back to a couple of times. This is the Trader Joe's Ultra Hydrating Gel Moisturizer. The packaging, nothing super special. The product, lovely. This lasts a really long time, so be prepared for that, and it's not that expensive. It rivals other gel moisturizers that are twice the price, so I will come back to this. This is a great product, especially for me in the winter. I think it's very nicely gel and hydrating for me, but not being too much. It can be a little bit too much this time of year for me. It's like there's a very thin line this time of year for me where if I have things that are too moisturizing, it will cause me to have breakouts. But this, again, is really good for the fall and winter time. I will buy it again. Finally, I have 3 serums. I have this sample, the Ole Henriksen Banana Bright Vitamin C Serum. This was a nice, pleasant texture. I think I prefer the primer from this line over this. This serum, I don't think really did much for my skin. I'm also very happy to report success with the e.l.f. Skin Holy Hydration Triple Bounce Serum. This is a really nice line. I've actually been trying a lot of e.l.f. skincare lately and I'm really into it. I would buy this again. The pump is a little bit messy, but not terrible. It does a nice job getting basically all the way down, which I appreciate. Not every serum that's in this dropper format does that. This is a good line. I would not sleep on this. I mean, you probably aren't, but if you have, or if you've passed over e.l.f. skincare, you're like, oh, it's e.l.f. I actually think they have some pretty good products, and this one is one of them. Final one, I'm actually disappointed in. I don't know if it's entirely the brand's fault. Let's talk about it. It's the Derma E Acne Blemish Control Treatment Serum, Active Salicylic Acid, Tea Tree Oil, and Aloe Vera. It's supposed to reduce acne, blackheads, and breakouts. I can't remember if I've tried the moisturizer or the cleanser from this line, but I was, again, looking for a serum when I finished those other 2 up, and I went to buy this. I purchased this in June from Ulta, from a buy online, pick up in store. It's kind of like the best way for me to shop these days with having 2 young children. And I immediately pulled it out. I didn't go in the hoarding closet. I was using it right away, but I noticed the expiration of this was July of 2024. And I thought to myself, Is it always that short of a turnaround time from buying it? Or is this just one of the older ones that was sitting at Ulta? I don't know. And by the time I looked at that and noticed that, it was too far into using it to think like I should return it. I was like a third of the way through. I'm sitting in front of you now at the end of August. I had told myself, like, not a big deal, you can use it, you know, past the expiration date, but I didn't want to go too far past that because I don't tend to buy a lot of skincare products that have exact expiration dates on it. So when those are there, I try to adhere to them. And I have to say, I have this much left. And recently, I was using this morning and night when I was trying to like finish it up when I used my other serum up. I was like, let me just use it twice a day. It does not, I can't tell if it's that causing my skin some issues or if it's because it's past its expiration. Either way, I'm done. I have like a breakout happening here, and it's really hard right now to know if skincare is causing these breakouts or if it's the fact that my hormones are rebalancing from, you know, giving birth. I know it was almost 6 months ago, end of September, but like I'm still losing handfuls, like scary amounts of hair in postpartum recovery. My arms are still dealing with like those KP bumps. It took me with Lydia like 7 months for my body like hormonally to really like recalibrate and come back to ground zero. So I don't know if it's that or if it's this causing it, but either way, I'm done with it. And it does make me question buying this again if it does have a quick turnaround time for expiration, but I also don't know if I were in a store if I would have like noticed that. It's just something to keep in mind. Again, it's a whole weird story. The product itself is fine. I just don't love how quickly it was set to expire from when I purchased it. Let's discuss nails. I recently posted a whole nail inventory in case you want to go see what is in my press-on nail collection. It's about 70 nails, so that's like a fun statistic that I know about myself. But I was able to go through a bunch of nails either through wearing them twice or focusing on boxes that had one set already used. It's 99% Impress, but I have one from Dashing Diva. These are their gold French manicure. Oh, I've bought many boxes of these. I think they have since discontinued these particular ones, but I think they were really fun in the summer. It's just like a fun bronzy gold kind of look. I'm sad I don't have any more and that I can't buy any more, but they were a lot of fun. Happy to have used them. Then I kind of went through a blue nail phase. I used up these ones called Spring Fling that had like a chrome nail and then a matte, or sorry, not matte, glossy finish blue sky nail. Very, very pretty. I like this a lot. Currently on my nails are these ones. They had a glitter silver accent nail, but I did not choose to include that in either set of nails when I wore these. These are called Casting Call. I've also got these in the petite size, so only able to, in the petite nails, get one usage, but these are a light blue French manicure. These ones were called Heartstrings, also very nice. And then my last blue ones were blue with these lovely daisies. They were called Whistle. So nice little accent nails. I like wouldn't say I was a big blue nail person, but that little culmination there makes me a liar. Also have these from Impress. These are called Beach Days. These ones were a silver. I also love a silver. The Dashing Diva collection had gold and silver for a while, so I was wearing those, but then when I saw these, I snagged them since the Dashing Diva ones were discontinued. From their glazed donut collection, which not my favorite collection, the berry glazed, I didn't like these because they stripped on me. So whatever final coat they were putting on, it did not hold up very well, so they were stripping. Not a big fan of that. Also from the spring collection, these Magical Moments, these were really beautiful. They were a pink glitter nail with a pink nail with daisies on them. I just like these ones a lot. They were really fun. And then the last ones, I'm gonna admit to you, I slept on and regretted it. They're from the FX collection. This is the Pop Star. These I feel like are the least FX-y, which is why I slept on them. They don't have like a dual chrome shift to them, which is why I was like, I think they're just okay. But I tell you, on my nails, they were so fun and pretty, and people complimented me on them. People out like in the wild, they are just these, what seem like basic pink, almost like clear, glittery magic. I don't know, I like them so much. These are still on the website. I think I will buy another box of them next time I place an order because they're just what I categorize as a neutral nail that isn't just a basic French manicure. So these were awesome, very much enjoyed. Let's talk hair care. It feels like I have a lot of hair care items. So I have this really random, discovered it when I was cleaning underneath my sink. This Tresemme anti-breakage conditioner. Decided to go ahead and use it. It's fine. I used to be a really big Tresemme person, and then I discovered the L'Oreal line, and I'm more into that. So this is nothing special. I wouldn't necessarily say I thought I had different reactions with lack of breakage and split ends, but it's gone. Moving into shampoos, I have two Fortune Cookie soap. I have the Better Together Color Safe shampoo and their Feeling Frosty clarifying shampoo. Neither one of these I felt like was super special. I'm not eating color safe. I don't dye my hair at all. And clarifying shampoo, I don't feel like my hair was extra squeaky clean. They were just fine. I'm happy that I just like used up products that were in my hoarding closet. Also have this Head & Shoulders Smooth and Silky Daily Shampoo. I purchased this while I was pregnant because very early on, like I'm talking last September, I got very dry very fast, like scalp all the way down to my feet. I just seem to have really dry, abnormally dry skin for my typical baseline, especially for the fall and winter. So I picked this up hoping it would help like with my itchy scalp. It like didn't really do anything. Like I couldn't really ever rectify having an itchy, dry scalp. This wasn't it. And I wasn't willing to like go down a rabbit hole and buy a ton of different things. I just sort of kept using this, and I wasn't using it every time I washed my hair. I don't know, it just didn't really do it for me. So I'm not out here recommending Head & Shoulders, but I finally finished it off and I'm just like happy it's gone. And then finally, I feel like this is a lot of shampoo and conditioner. I have this little sample. This is the Viviscal, I don't know if I'm saying that right, strengthening conditioner with biotin and keratin, and their shampoo from their line. I'm not like a big high-end, high price tag shampoo conditioner person. In a lot of other categories, I'm more prone to spend money, but not shampoo and conditioner. I don't really know why that is, but this was fine. Nothing super special that I was like, oh, I must go out and shell out like bigger bucks for than just basic drugstore stuff. So I'm not gonna. Let's talk hair curling. I used up the last one of the Eva NYC Lazy Jane salt-free wave spray. This stuff is good. I don't love the pump situation, but I can work with it. It is my second, but it's much cheaper than my number one, which is the Way Wave Spray. I have two of these. I have, I think, two left for the hair curling season, and then I don't have any products left, which means I should be through the hair curling season, but this stuff is very expensive. I like this stuff a bit better than the Eva NYC because this is more foolproof. It doesn't matter. I could be the sweatiest Betty in the most 100% humidity type of day, and my curls hold without a question. This stuff won't do it in those intense conditions, but I would say those intense conditions don't exist all the time, so I can get by with this stuff. I bought a bunch of this last fall during like an Ulta hair care sale, so I'll keep my eye out for it and buy it again. This stuff I typically buy the Way Wave Spray when Sephora is doing their VIB sale because I can get it for a slight discount, but I do always keep my eye to see if it's ever 50% off, because if it ever is, I will buy enough for the actual season. So all good with these. Final hair item is this mask. It's the Queen Bee Deep Conditioner from Fortune Cookie Soap. Oh my God. This is so good. I will say, sometimes they call it a hair mask, sometimes a deep conditioner. I don't care what it is. If it's their potted hair something, it is great. I recommend it. I like this stuff because it is on the thicker side. So I have coarse hair, which works well for me. It doesn't weigh my hair down or cause it to look greasy or anything like that. So that's a nice plus. I think it really does help keep my hair in good shape, especially when I am doing a lot of straightening once I get through the humid months in the New England area. But this also is a low-key hair perfume. I could smell this on my hair for days. Unless I am doing my hair curling every single day. I don't wash my hair every single day, but this I could smell in my hair for days until I would shampoo my hair. And I'm sure it would last even longer. I haven't pushed the envelope because I do wash my hair like probably 3 times a week, but Oh my God, such a good scent. I love this scent so much. It was such a lovely, lovely hair scent to have, and like to get whiffs of it randomly was so pleasant. I'm sorry I don't have more of this. I'm gonna check to see if they still have this collection on the site, and if they do, I might buy a few more things in this particular scent because it is just the best of the best. Let's talk scrubs. I have two from Tree Hut. I have the Island Breeze, don't know what that means, and the Dragon Fruit. These were both really nice scents. I love this. This is my best favorite scrub type of all, so I highly recommend it. If you're looking to remove like a good layer of skin, this is the job for you. I also tried a new scrub from a new brand. To me, it's not a new brand, but the scrub is new. It's the Bodycology Watermelon Splash. So I was checking out a local Walmart when I was in Maine, and they, no joke, had a wall of scrubs. I was like, what is this wall of scrubs? Let me go check them out. And they had the usual, like the Tree Hut and that kind of stuff, but they had this. Now, Bodycology is not new to Walmart. I've seen it before, and they are definitely trying to come for Bath & Body Works with their packaging and with their scents and all of that, but I haven't really been pulled in because at my local Walmart, it's a very small selection and none of the scents really speak to me. But when I saw the scrub, I was like, oh, let me give her a try. It smells exactly like the watermelon scrub from Tree Hut, maybe a bit more of like a watermelon sour patch kick, but here's the stitch. You don't get as much product. It's 10 ounces, which is less than Tree Hut, and it's not that much less expensive than a Tree Hut scrub, and it's just like ever so slightly not as scrubby as Tree Hut. So I'm glad I tried this out. It did peak and sort of scratch that itch of curiosity for Bodycology, but I'm not converted. I'm gonna stick with Tree Hut, but it is decent. If you don't have Tree Hut available to you and your Walmart has Bodycology, you're not gonna go wrong with it if there's a scent that you like, but it's not removing the crown from Tree Hut Scrub's head. Let's talk some soapy kind of products. So first one I have is the Hen House Homestead Pumpkin Patch bar soap. This was just something Ben was given, I think, as like a Christmas gift through his company, which I was like, give me this, let me try it. This is a nice scent to have for the fall time. It is a fine bar soap, nothing special. I don't know even how to acquire this, but I'm glad we're using it. It had really beautiful, ornate, like detailing on the very top of it. It's like a very classy bar soap in my opinion, but it is fun. I'm liking the scent of it. Good with that. Then sort of a soap and a bath bomb. I finally used my Super Mario, literally the little cube bath bomb. It was obnoxiously big. I decided to not break it up because that felt like a lot of work. So I used it all in one go. And I have to say, we're gonna talk about this for like a couple of minutes. I was displeased because inside your power up was some kind of power up soap. I got the mushroom, the most like basic of them, not very exciting, but the soap wasn't packaged. It was just in there. Like I thought it might be shrink wrapped or like in some kind of case to not have it just fall away into my like bath and just sort of start to like meld. And like I get it, Lush, it's not really on brand for them to put like cellophane or use additional packaging. It's not really their shtick, but it needed to happen because by the time I drained my bath and fished out my little mushroom, it was like getting a little bit slippy. I did use it as a bar soap. It wasn't anything super special. I wouldn't say I'm a huge Lush bar soap person. This was just more like for fun, for my little 90s Nintendo heart. That's why I did it, but I'm not gonna go out and buy Lush bar soaps. Two shaving products. So I have the whipped soap from Forge Creek Soap in the scent Chili Down. This, the scent of this was just okay, but texturally this wasn't as robust as usual. It really sort of kind of like fizzled out really fast as I was like kind of washing it onto my legs to then shave. So formulation wise, not great. And then I have been jonesing to try the Truly brand. This is what I think very expensive line, but it always catches my eye because whenever Ulta is doing some kind of like body sale, it's on there, and I finally pulled the trigger and I wanted to try their whipped shave butter. This is in the scent Cocoa Cloud. No, this stuff is not worth the hype. Texturally, this is like using legitimate whipped cream. It was gone so stinking fast. I went through it so quickly because it just is so light and fluffy that you kind of have to use a lot of it to cover the surface area of your legs to then shave with. And the scent of it like is fine. It's just basically like a light, sweet coconut scent, like coconut milk. Nothing super special. This stuff is way overpriced for what it is. I will not buy it again. I'm happy that I finally have gotten to try it and like, again, gotten that curiosity out of my system, but absolutely not. I will very religiously stick with the Fortune Cookie Soap Whip Soap because price point better, the usage easier and more reliable. So this ain't it for me. 2 drugstore shower gels to talk about, which is very unlike me. I have the Dial Calm and Soothe Lavender and Jasmine scent, and then the CVS Moisturizing Body Wash in Romance. These were both in my parents' shower. We basically keep our, like, not go-to, but we keep shampoo, conditioner, lotion, body wash up there so that we don't have to worry about bringing it up every time. We go up there frequently enough that it just would be a nuisance to have to drag those things up anyways. So we finally finished off those. Here's what I have to say. I like these scents, and I feel like the drugstore does have nice scents to offer, but what I don't love is the formulation. I feel like these are really meant to be used with one of those loofahs, and I'm not a loofah person. The idea of just like rubbing a plastic sponge over my body doesn't excite me. So these, I feel like we were using a lot of to be able to like get some kind of wash, because they're just very sort of like, they don't really suds up in your hands. They kind of maintain this like gloopy, gelatinous. I think again, if it was mixed with a sponge, the sponge could help break that down, but good sense. I'm just not gonna go back for these. I'm pretty sure these were couponed for next to nothing, which is why they exist, but I'll stick with the Bath & Body Works shower gel. And then lastly, we have some non-Bath & Body Works moisturizing products. 2 from the children. I finally finished off the diaper body lotion. I think I talked about this before. This, I like the idea of. I like that this basically is a little bag inside this cardboard container, and it's all recyclable. I really wish more companies would move towards packaging like this. I think it's much more sustainable, which I like. The product itself, we don't like. The scent of it is super medicinal. And it's so thin that it almost feels like it is like a soap or a body wash. It's very strange. Lydia really hated the feeling of this on her skin, so I've been using it completely on Logan, who also does not seem to be having any eczema prone tendencies. So this was fine. Again, won't buy it again, but happy that we used it up. And again, I would love to see more companies doing packaging like this. Sticking with the kids, 2 more. I have the Baby Dove Eczema Care. This is the last of the bunch that I bought when they were super clearanced at my local CVS. This stuff is nice. I feel like we go through it really fast. That's the only con, but it's a good, not super thin, but not too thick type of moisturizer for my daughter who does have eczema. And finally, from the baby category, it's this Vanny Cream. This is the Vanny Cream Moisturizing Cream for Sensitive Skin. We went to a dermatologist because Lydia's eczema flared up more than our pediatrician could really address. And our pediatrician basically told us to stop using any kind, whether it was eczema or not, any kind of body wash on her, just to wash her with water, and then suggested Vanny Cream as the lotion to use. So we use this. This stuff is thick and there's residue, but it does work on her. We have a couple of other products that were already in use for the body lotion category that we are working through, but once we have worked through that, we will switch over exclusively to Vanny Cream. I'm trying to see if they have a slightly like less thick version of this for daytime and kind of use this more just as her nighttime lotion, but it truly is a high quality, helps with eczema type of lotion, so I do recommend. And then 2 moisturizing products for me. I used up this Earth Mama Belly Oil. This I had lingering from pregnancy. I was using kind of this and bio oil to help keep my stomach, in particular my belly, moisturized. It did get itchy as my pregnancy went on, which did happen when I was pregnant with Lydia, and this was just still lingering. I do have some stretch marks on like the lower part of my, like basically if I were like curved, like if this were this for my pregnant stomach, I got some stretch marks down here the last week, literally the last week of my pregnancy. So I was applying this belly oil to that, which did help my stretch marks from being itchy. I was noticing postpartum that they were itchy and my regular lotion wasn't doing enough to calm that itchiness. Did it really help reduce the color and appearance of my stretch marks? No, I actually have discovered that the Palmer's stretch mark cream, that is doing a lot for me that I purchased after using this up, but it doesn't market it for that. It markets it more for pregnancy. I'm just happy I used it because it was expensive, so we're done talking about this. And finally, I have one of these Trader Joe's Lavender Santal Body Butter. These are fine. I don't like love, it's not like a great, like I'm not a big lavender person, so I'm happy I used it. It didn't take me very long to use it. The formula is lovely. The lotion itself is lovely, but the scent was just so-so. Oh my God, there you have it. We are done. Thank you for coming. If you stayed for this whole time, you're a champ. Again, famous last words. I was doing a pretty good job for a while there and then fell off, like hard off the cliff, but that was a lot of stuff. Thank you so much for being here, and I'll talk to you in the next video real soon. Bye.